Once upon a time, there was a man that was very passionate for the future of Shonen Jump. At a point in time, I actually believed that My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, and all of these other mangakas were skilled enough and creative enough to surpass what was previously established with bigger series like Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. Maybe this brand new line of creators in the magazine learned from the mistakes of previous writers that they saw as an inspiration. Maybe shonen wouldn't be dead. But unfortunately, reality has just been a constant smack in the face because none of these mangakas learned. They just try to make bread off of what already worked in the magazine. With the case of My Hero, I really don't know what the fuck happened. If I had to take a wild guess, maybe the editors just cucked Horikoshi. If there's one thing I really did love about this series, and for the most part anything that Horikoshi makes, it was his creativity. But at this point, it just feels like it was all squandered. And it drives me absolutely insane. You don't know what it's like growing up with a series. This series has been made for 10 years. I was in high school when it was made, and I had high hopes. I even debated whether or not My Hero could have overthrown Hunter x Hunter as my favorite manga. Sounds crazy, but I had plenty of justifiable reasons for that. And after 10 years of being a fan, with it ending, I feel absolutely nothing. I'm not happy, I'm not sad, I'm not mad. I feel like this is the worst predicament you could ever be in when it comes to being invested in anything. I feel absolutely nothing. And that's insane. That is absolutely fucking horrible. I'm not even the biggest Naruto fan. It was just kind of there because I grew up with it. At one point, it was my favorite. But even after I fell off of Naruto as a series, I could feel something from it ending. I clicked with My Hero so hard, but I feel not a damn thing. A 10-year investment and you just don't care. That's like being with a fucking girl for 10 years, and by the time the relationship is over, you don't even care. You're not happy that, like, maybe shit was bad. You're not even happy that it's over. You just don't even fucking care. You're not even sad about the time that you spend with that person or that thing, that investment that you decided on putting any form of time or passion into. You just don't fucking care. At least with Attack on Titan, you could care enough to be upset. With My Hero, who fucking cares? I've just never seen a fall off happen so hard in my life. In the next 5 to 10 years, who's gonna want to go back and read this dog shit manga? Because at this point, you don't get anything out of it from reading it. Anyone can be a hero. Like, I didn't get that from the first few chapters already. What was the point of the entire story? What was the progression? I just read this to see him win and then become an afterthought? Were you trying to be quirky and different by making the main character become useless like how he originally was at the beginning of the series? You could make it work and make it interesting, but in this case, that did not happen at all. Anyone can be a hero. Like, motherfucker, what is this corny ass, anyone can cook, ratatouille ass manga I just read? Shit, it's not about the destination. You know, it's about the journey, not the destination. But the journey to all this was not good. Most of the fights in My Hero just suck and they don't have any. We have a superhero manga with absolutely no fights, just one-shots and washes. I can't recommend the journey for this series. It just falls flat in so many areas. They set up so many things in the story, like quirks causing all these issues in society, like the quirk singularity, the morally gray area that the villains are in. It makes you question, who are the villains in this situation? Is it the heroes that are being oppressive to these guys with these quirks that turn them into freaks? Or is it these guys with fucked up quirks that turn them into monsters? And then you got the little bunches of actual evil fucked up people that are with these villains that have genuine issues. The writing was so good, and then it ultimately goes nowhere. What was the point of making the villains seem justified or morally gray, or like they needed help and they could receive it, But at the end of the day, the villains don't get saved either. They just get shafted. It feels like this entire series was just shafted. Cool, epic fights and rivalries down the drain. Interesting quirks, character concepts, and villains down the drain. And by the time you finish reading it all, I'm just like, what was the point? Some of the best art in Jump to do absolutely nothing with it. If there's one thing I hate more than anything, it's wasted creativity. And that's just ultimately how I feel about this series. People go back and read old Shonen Jump mangas like Hitman Reborn, Shaman King, Toriko, Medaka Box, and these were never the most popular series in Jump. Nowadays, we take the most popular series in Jump, and I don't even think anybody is going to go back and read this 5 to 10 years from now. Shit! 1, 2 to 3 years, I give it. Because this dog shit Ratatouille ass story does nothing. And you do not know how much it upsets me to say this because I've read all of Horikoshi's previous mangas. And the beginning of My Hero is so prime. And the series just stops doing what made it good in the first place. My Hero doesn't really get good till the part when the villains invade USJ. Basically when all the students are about to go practice and the villains pull up and we see Shigaraki for the first time. The reason why this was so enjoyable was not because of the epic moment where All Might beats the fuck up out of the Nomu, but it was everything that happened beforehand. There were actual stakes. It felt like at any moment a student could have died and they were barely getting by. And this was even a constant at the beginning of the series when Midoriya was trying to hone and use his powers. He could have got kicked out of school at any given moment. There was always stakes. And this series says fuck the stakes and throws it all out the window. These epic moments like when All Might fights the Nomu hit because of the stakes that were built up prior. And this series just absolutely forgets that. I've just never seen something so goofy in my entire life. My Hero has 2 war arcs, hero versus villain war. In the first war arc, no fight. Second war arc, no fight. Why is there a lack of fights in a superhero manga? Why are we getting lazy one-shots? I've just never seen a series literally, like you could just see that the creator was just tired of making it, and it is so infuriating. So many characters go nowhere. You show different schools and do nothing with them. You world build and go like, oh, there's heroes in the US and all over the world. You see absolutely nothing. Could you imagine if One Piece just told you about the Big Mom pirates and we never got to see that portion? We never got to see the new world in One Piece. Why the fuck would you even talk about it if you're not going to add it in the story? Could have had a cool flashback arc. Even Jujutsu Kaisen did that. Why we never got that with My Hero? Could have, would have, should have. That's all this manga is. Like, I'm at the point where I just can't help but ask myself, why would I ever read this? Like, One Punch Man takes everything My Hero does and does it so much better. Better art, actual fights, stakes. The only reason why you'd ever like My Hero is for the aesthetic. And what the fuck is liking a story for aesthetic? Why is anime girl superhero manga Shy better than the biggest superhero manga in Shonen Jump? Why would I read this over Shy and One Punch Man? I honestly, why would I even read My Hero? Because it fucking looks cool? The set pieces are not even fire. The story, what is even the story? Heroes and villains and you can be a hero and like nigga, what am I reading? You know it's bad when I have My Hero skins in Fortnite and I don't want to use them. I don't want to buy Dabi, Shigaraki, and Toga because I don't like this series anymore. You do not know how weird of a feeling that is to be so invested in something and just not give a shit about it. And it's not like this was a fucking, hey, it's been a few years, I'm not really interested in this thing I used to be passionate about. It's literally just, wow, that's it? I don't care. Could someone in the comment section just give me a reason as to why you would even read My Hero? What is it doing that other stories haven't already done before or isn't currently doing better. If I wanted to see somebody become the top dog and I wanted an enjoying journey, why would I just not read Naruto? The journey of Naruto not really being shit, can't really handle his powers and becoming the Hokage. I get amazing fights, I get the epic rivalry between Naruto and Sasuke, I get some cool ideas, a cool world of ninjas, interesting villains. What is My Hero doing compared to that? Nothing. The deaths don't even hit My Hero. And there's not even that many. All these other mangas are successful nowadays, like Demon Slayer, JoJo, and Jujutsu Kaisen, because they're not afraid to do different things. They're not afraid to kill a character off. They're not afraid to make a cool, convoluted ability just to have an excuse to make a fight entertaining. They're not afraid to write something good. And My Hero is literally just the definition of being too scared to do anything interesting. This entire manga has just been the definition of playing it safe and wasting my time. Gee, like I haven't heard that one before. This series literally affected the entire next generation of mangakas, and it's trash. And it should have been the exact opposite of that, especially if you understand where this creator has come from. If you look at the people that he mentored, why is this a manga that plays it safe? It makes absolutely no sense. My Hero had entertainment value, but at this point, I don't know where it has gone. It's just a sad position to be in when you're waiting every week for a chapter and you love it, you're reading it, you're invested. And then you go from being invested into that series to slowly skimming it, not really caring, and just being disappointed. There are a lot of questionable choices with the writing, and I could pick it apart for hours on end, but it's not going to make the series any better. It's not going to give me my time back. All I can just really say is that I'm glad that I can read series like Dawn to Dawn and Gachi Akuta, because this was just a giant smack in the face.